Revs are up. Gate is up. The start of our Moto 2s right here in front of us. So starting round 2 for all of these guys. And there we have a little chaos right in the middle of the track. Couple riders going down on the high side, locking that brake up a bit, getting that bike sideways, and soon as it grabs traction, those guys are over the bars off of the high side, and a big mess. Looks like that number 41 machine of Renton Menudo. He comes out of Rosamond, California. So Menudo getting the early lead right here. Going to have clear track of him. Going to have a big advantage with the vision right now. So going to be key keeping those goggles on, keeping that vision clear. Want to see these guys make some passes right now. Want that clear track ahead of them. Don't want to eat any roost out here right now. Going to still continue to find the good lines. These guys are going to be working the edges, but going to see a lot of dodge and roost going on out here right now. Going to see a lot of guys going for it early, trying to make their way to the front. So once again, that number 41 Yamaha of Renton Menudo getting that whole shot award, but looks like already have some action up there in the front of the pack as those guys make their way back into Storyland. Leader's going to be coming around now back by the pond. They're going to make their way back into the beach here in just a moment. There they come now. First of our leaders back into sight now, heading up and over that jump back there, heading into the beach. It is still the Kawasaki rider out front and leading the way, so going to get a positive ID here in a second. Look like possibly a 27 on that machine there. Get a better look here in just a minute. A little bit grainy on the feed right now, so having a bit of trouble reading those numbers, but here they come now back up over that. Dragons back in the middle. Those guys working their way back down into the big right-hand beach turn right here in front of the pond. These guys right now trying to establish some dominance. First two riders trying to make a break for it. Get out there and enjoy some clean track, because got a feeling going to start running into lappers not too long. Some of these guys falling over, falling back a good bit, so going to have riders at each end of the track here just shortly. So as we make our way around, yes, it is that number 27 machine, it looks like this time. Got a little better. That's actually 21. That's Samuel Redmond. The 34 of Richard Jackson now in that second position, while Benjamin Adams, so in that third spot, he's on the 52 Yamaha. Logan Parks riding the number 12 Honda in the fourth spot. Addison Emery bringing it on that number 4 Yamaha. In the number 6 position, Colin Thomas, he's on the 35 Yamaha. Ryan Surratt on that 51 Honda, trying to make a pass right now, trying to get up into that 6th position. John Moeller, he's in that number 8 spot, while Tyler Prantley on the 43 Yamaha rides in 9th. Tanner Wineland rounds out the top 10 on the number 59 Kawasaki. These guys out on lap 2 right now, already realizing how important that vision's going to be, and it's Redmond still continuing to lead right now, trying to ride a wide bike and also trying to ride these edges, trying to keep himself and the vision clean right now. But I tell you, Richard Jackson making himself very mobile on that bike right now, trying to dodge that roost of Redmond, trying to stay back far enough not to be too impaired by the vision, but wants to set him up and try to get past Redmond as quick as possible. Redmond having none of it. Benjamin Adams Adamo out there in that 3rd position. Looks like Logan Parks trying to get around him, and Addison Emery still back there working it from side to side.
Well, I tell you, honestly, this particular class, Megawatt, has the potential to be one of the most exciting classes we have to watch down here. When you look at the talent that is in this class and the just simply the age frame from 16 to 24 years old says enough right there. Whenever you can get the best of those riders in that age group, you've got yourself a pretty spectacular thing about ready to unfold. And when you get the conditions with what we got here and what happened out there on the start, that was pretty gnarly and crazy out there for those guys. Redmond coming out on top when it's all said and done, like we said. He's got didn't have much of a lead whenever they came through for the first lap complete, but now that we've settled in for the second lap, it looks like that things are starting to come in a little better for him now. Richard Jackson feeling a little bit of the pressure from Adamson, and I believe Logan Parks, and Addison Emery is going to be one that we're going to want to watch, but also that rider that was back in 7th place, the 51 of Ryan Surratt. He's also trying to make some hay out there right now, and as tough as it is with the rain that came out, Surratt is still going to be one to watch in this one, and Samuel Redmond knows that regardless of where he is on the racetrack right now, he's got to keep his nose pointed forward and move it in the right direction so that he can't catch up.
He has to race forward. He has to concentrate. He has to be very precise now, Rodney. One lapse of concentration, yeah, as you can see, one lapse of concentration could lead from anything from a tip over to running off of the course. Stalling that bike in these conditions could be disastrous, Rodney, trying to get that thing fired back up right now.
Well, we see that Surratt has gotten around Addison Emery. Emery's actually dropped all the way back to 8th place. Logan Parks was the rider we saw nearly going down in the 4th place position. He went off the track a little bit. I believe that allowed Colin Thomas to get by. I don't believe that Surratt was able to get by, but he was certainly in position. He may have gotten up a couple. There's Surratt right now as we're watching this rider try to traverse his way around this racetrack and through the traffic out there to the front of the pack. If you remember in our opening moto, this rider literally just laid it to it out there in one of the first races we had of the drops of the gates there yesterday. And he is back out here again. And the conditions yesterday we kind of expected to be similar to this, but obviously we're not. They were much better than what we're looking at right now. But you know what? Surratt, head down, charging. He is motoring through regardless of what the conditions are out there.
Surratt catching those guys in front of him, no question, working his way through the 10 Commandments. And
there's Thomas and Parks just ahead of him right now. So I believe that he's going to be knocking on the door here pretty soon.
I gotta feel, Rodney, a couple of these guys that were just a little further back than that lead trio actually throttled back a bit on the first lap or so to really get the feel for it, and then they could really start making some moves on lap 2 or so, but wanted to be sure what they were doing and what they were looking at.
All righty, looking for that 51 machine again, and if I'm not mistaken, has he pulled up into, I believe he just made the pass into the number 5 spot around Colin Thomas, the 35 machine coming out of the Storyland area there. And honestly, he tightened that up quite a bit through Storyland. It was quite a bit of a gap when they headed in, but when they came out, it was a whole different story.
Yeah, you know, he was closing on those guys just as they come through the commandments and stuff. But right now, Ryan Surratt very centralized on that bike, trying to keep both wheels planted, trying to keep maximum traction underneath of him. As you can see when he's accelerating, keeping that bike directly underneath of him, so keeping all that weight and power to the ground. So Surratt really making up some time right now.
Redmond wrapping up lap number 3 now, a 2:28.5 lap time. He had a 3.7 second lead over Richard Jackson, the 34. That is now opened up. Look at this, 9 seconds over Jackson. Benjamin Adamson in the number 3 spot, still aboard the 52. Colin Thomas is 4th. Ryan Surratt is 5th. He'd gotten around Logan Parks, as we said. There is Tyler Pantley in 7th. Addison Emery 8th. Dickinson is 9th. And Nick Krieger rounds out your top 10.
Rodney, did you see the end of the billboard down there? We were looking at it at the beginning of the moto a minute ago. We were talking about the 51s having to traverse. Those things are now easily 1.5 feet deep, man. Really starting to develop down there.
Oh, yeah. The added moisture on the racetrack, I'm sure, is making that particular part of the track even more difficult and easier to eat out. Look at this battle Surratt is in with Colin Thomas right now. These guys are slicing and dicing it, and I believe Surratt able to thread it there, threads the needle, and I think he's going after Addison now. That's Benjamin Adamson in the 3rd place position aboard the number 52 now as they head out of the 10 Commandments. Surratt is making up ground quick right now, and at this pace, I got to think that Richard Jackson could be under threat by the time we leave Storyland.
I'm telling you, Surratt is finding traction where nobody else is, Rodney. He's come by the last 2 riders extremely quick. Within 2 sections, he's made 2 quick passes. No messing around. The guy's putting the power to the ground. Not sure how he was prepared for these conditions, but he is finding a grip when nobody else is.
No doubt about that. Redmond still out front of it, though. Again, a near 10-second lead possibly at this point as Jackson's still holding on to the number 2 spot. But for how long, as here comes Ryan Surratt reeling him in now as we head toward the Rocky Mountain ATVMC.com sweeper turn there. You guys over there are getting ready to see the show firsthand.
And what a show it is right now. Look at these guys, wheel to wheel, working it through this section right here, trying to avoid that roost. But I can tell you what you need to do is get away from that rear tire, separate yourself, make yourself get out of that main line right there, get yourself some clear vision, and make it happen. So right now, looks like Richard Jackson right now has his hands full. Redmond still out front, but a lot of guys charging right behind him as we see one more time that 51 making another pass right there. I think that was a pass into second place right now. Yeah, it looks like Surratt has made his way into the number 2 position right now. So that man on fire right now.
Well, Surratt on fire right now as he works his way up through the pack and still about 5 seconds back of Richard Jackson.
Okay.
Must have gotten by some lap traffic. So he did get around Adamson for the number 3 spot, but still Richard Taylor just a few seconds ahead right now. So we got time for one more show here on this lap of racing. Ryan Surratt has really made this college 16 to 24-year-old class very interesting to watch. I mean, I'm not saying and taking anything away from the rest of the guys because there's some really good battles out there, but at which the pace at which Ryan Surratt is working around this track and reeling these guys in, he's so fluid right now and mechanical in his efforts.
And he's the guy that's passed the most people, so he's put in the most work right now. And look at this, wheelie, finding traction to wheelie through those bumps and smooth things out right now, Rodney.
He most certainly is, and while he does this and we watch this race develop and unfold here, we say hello and good afternoon to a former AMA Pro ATV champion, of course, talking about the national champ, Joe Bird, who is in his farewell tour season and will race his last race at Loretta Lynn's, the ATV Dirt Days, in a little over a week right here at the Dude Ranch. Joe Bird, welcome to RacerTV.com, man, and welcome back to the ranch. I know you don't live too far from here. It's kind of like being at home yourself and had to come over and check out some of the racing, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is not the kind of racing we want to be racing next week, but hey, as Mother Nature doesn't, it comes down no matter what. And then we're just watching this race, and the tracks, for the amount of rain we've got, man, it's actually not too bad. I'm watching Ryan Surratt here. We were just over at the Honda pits talking to my buddies over there, and they're all fled to pits whenever this race came out. They don't want to watch this young guy, and he's doing excellent on this Honda. And we'll root for this guy to represent Honda well. But, yeah, this is, at least the rain cooled everything off. I know everybody was hot and muggy earlier, but actually feels really good out there right now, other than hopefully no more rain comes. But the tracks, obviously is a mess, but they'll get it cleaned up for the next time. But it could be worse.
It most certainly it could be worse, but having you here, man, it's kind of an honor and a privilege, kind of prelude to what's going on next week. But what a lot of people don't realize is, as great an ATV racer you are, you have a lot of ties over on the two-wheel side of things. If you've got some top East Coast Supercross racers that train at your facility, huh?
Yeah, I've been doing the training facility for a while now, and I got Alex Ray and a few of the guys that are racing Supercross and Motocross that have just come over to start training with me. So we come out here to see what's going on and try to bring some of the sponsors and aviation sponsors over to the two-wheel side and of course, continue the quad side. But just having a big time this weekend and coming here to see all the co-racers get it on.
There you go. Joe, thanks for stopping in, man. We wish you well. We'll see you down here next weekend, man. Glad to have you stopping by representing Honda proudly. 42 years old, right?
Oh, 43, Ronnie. Don't ruin it for me, Ronnie. Jeez, come on now. But, yeah, I'll be here next week.
He's gun-shy on those ages now.
Joe Bird, I tell you, man, see you. An amazing man. There's no doubt about it. An amazing champion at that, an amazing racer. Been racing four-wheelers racing actually since four-wheel ATV racing has been existed. Actually, he started racing when there were three-wheelers, and he started right here at Loretta Lynn's Dirt Days. This is a pretty monumental place for four-wheelers as well, and pretty monumental for Ryan Surratt. Samuel Redmond's got a pretty good thing going on for him right now, though, too. A 12-second lead over second-place Richard Jackson, and he's the buffer as well to Ryan Surratt. So Redmond's looking pretty good right here as we approach the closing moments of this college 16 to 24-year-old moto.
Redmond looking really good, as you mentioned, Rodney. Holding it down right now, representing for those guys over there in the green camp. Team Green just ecstatic right now with one more rider up front. Look at this lap time, though, Rodney. 2:34 in these conditions. Those guys ran about a 2:14 in the dry, so very, very respectable in these conditions. And what's that, buddy? Yes, fastest lap as they're pointing out, a 2:28. I'm sorry, so a 2:34 right there, a 2:28. So only about 14 seconds, thanks to our trailer right there correcting me, only about 14 seconds difference between ideal conditions and right now. So that's impressive.
Now, here's something I didn't even realize, and I just now looked down at the board. But this, I was thinking, man, Surratt, I've seen him race these guys already. I did.
Right.
This was Moto 2. This was the battle.
Starting it back over, my man.
Yeah, so he took the Moto 1 win. That's what it was there.
Kind of hurts my feelings that you don't listen to me because I said that while you were making your way back up here, and you don't even listen to me on the radio.
I couldn't hear you. Richard Jackson actually finished second, so this second-place position finish for him is going to do him quite well. The question is, where did Redmond finish? Wow, he got a third, so coming into this one, the 3-1 right now. This championship is going to be tight between those top three riders, Redmond, Jackson, and Surratt. I guess I'm going to wade my way back down to the podium there and get ready to talk to our top three here.
Well, I tell you what, that's going to do justice by our crowd and our riders to have the legendary Rodney Tomlin present the podium awards down there right now. Guy's going to hand out the hardware, going to get the lowdown on exactly how conditions are changing out there. And Rodney, big things happening now with the Moto 2s underway right now, our second round making their way. Got a lot to talk about down there with these guys because several guys in championship position right now. So lap number 6, this one in the waning moments right now. So these guys are working their way through the slop one more time. Richard Jackson still in that second position on that number 34 Yamaha. The 51 of Ryan Surratt one more time around in that number 3 spot early on. Surratt just absolutely on fire, finding traction in a lot of spots that looked like there was none. So Benjamin Adamso in that number 4 spot. The 5 spot belongs to Colin Thomas. Number 6 position goes to Ashton Dickinson. Cody Schock in the number 7 spot. He's on that 49 Honda. Will Lofstrom rides in 8th. He's on the number 80 Honda. Tyler Pantley, he's on that Yamaha number 43. He's in the 9th position. Caleb Taylor rides in 10th. Logan Parks in the 11th spot. Renton Menudo got a whole shot earlier. He's on the number 12 machine. George Mast, he rides the number 39 Kawasaki. 14th spot goes to Blake Rivard. He's on Yamaha 61. Shea Thomas, he's in the 15th spot, while Nick Krager, looks like we just had a pass right there. Addison Emery moving into the 16th. Nick Krager down into the 17th spot. Gordon Keller Jr. in 18th. Jonah Smith in the number 19 ride, while Kobe Moore rides in the 20th position. Willie Simmons Jr. in 21st. Taylor Price in the 22nd spot. Cameron Barboa in the number 23 position, while Brandon Marcellus rides in 24th, and Cody Gray on the 47 Yamaha rounds out our top 25. College boys 16 to 24, not disappointing in the least bit. Right now, beginning round 2 of our motos. First of Moto number 2 right here. College 16 to 24, and plenty of riders in contention if we finish in the current position. So Redmond, Jackson, Surratt, Adamso, all these guys could be in position. Not sure exactly the first moto finishes of a couple of these guys, but it looks like we have at least 2 to 3 of these front runners in position for an overall. So could come down to the final moto in college, 16 to 24. Could be the determining factor as they bring themselves to the last race in this class. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be able to maintain that final position to become the champion in that 16 to 24 class? So Sam Redmond still out front on lap 7. Richard Jackson right behind him. He's about 19 seconds back right now. Ryan Surratt still riding in that number 3 position. Wait for him to come through timing and scoring again. That's it. Now we click it over on the number 7 lap for Ryan Surratt. Benjamin Adamso still in that number 4 position. Colin Thomas rides in 5th. The 6 goes to Aiden Dickinson. Now he's moved up just a bit. I think he's gained 1 position on that last lap. So Ashton Dickinson moving up into the 6th spot. Cody Schock riding in 7th. The 8th position now, Will Lofstrom, and Tyler Pantley riding in the 9th with Caleb Taylor in the 10th spot. So the waning moments of our college 16 to 24. This one coming to a close here in just a few moments. Riders going to be making their way off the track. Redmond trying to maintain that number 1 position. Riding extremely defensive right now, keeping that bike planted, not wanting to make any mistakes in the last few moments of this race. So Redmond being extremely careful right now. Had a margin of about 19.9 seconds last time around. About 15 seconds back to 16 seconds back to Surratt after that. So these guys riding individually right now each have a little bit of a gap, but look right behind Surratt, only 2.5 seconds back. Adamso on that number 52 Yamaha. Cameron now following, looks like the number 21 machine of Redmond right there. Camera following him as he comes back through the midsection of the course. Going to be working his way up and around the pond here in just a second. So in just a few moments going to be getting that checkered flag. This one's going to be coming to a close real soon. Got a couple bikes sitting on the side of the track right now, must have taken on water, possibly had a few bikes stall, possibly sucked in a little dirt or moisture, and got a couple bikes disabled right now on the side of the course. Now, as we take a look at the skies to the west of us right now, skies starting to lighten up. Going to see the clouds have some holes in them right now, and blue skies are starting to develop. So looks like things are starting to straighten out just a little bit. Weather is starting to improve, and in just a few moments, there we see it right now. The checkered flag has flown, and we take a look at it. Samuel Redmond on that number 21 machine after 8 laps, 8 hard-fought laps, taking the win here in Moto number 2 of college, 16-24. Second place rider crossing the line here. Looks like right about now. And, yep, that is Richard Jackson maintaining that second position now on the 24 Yamaha. So the 21 Kawasaki of Samuel Redmond with the win here. Richard Jackson holding on to the second place finish. As we take a look at timing and scoring, Ryan Surratt, what an amazing ride for that young man on the 51 Honda. Chewing up positions on the first few laps, spitting out roosts like you've never seen. The number 51 Honda making his way up to the last step of the podium right now. Ryan Surratt in fourth. It looks like Ashton Dixon in the number 5 spot. Benjamin Adamso. So down on the podium right now, it's that number 21 machinist, Sam Redmond, getting a big hug from the team right now, getting everything ready for the pictures. All kinds of emotion running through Redmond right now. Look at the smile on that guy's face down there on the podium. You can absolutely feel the joy from that guy across the monitor. So the number 21 of Sam Redmond holding on for the win here. Moto number 2 of college, 16-24. And Rodney, let's hear all about it, my man.
All right, thanks a lot down here on the podium, as you said. How about it for Moto 2 gold medal winner and winner here right now, Samuel Redmond. Looks like we got ourselves a 3-way tie heading into the third and final moto. We got a, what is it, a 3-1 for you, a 1-3 for Ryan Surratt, and 2-2 for Richard Jackson. So, wow, dude, I don't know if you expected this to happen, but I know this is what you worked all summer to make happen.
You got that right. I've worked so hard, and I can't believe it actually paid off. This is unbelievable. This is my first moto win at the ranch. I've been on the podium, but it's good to be up here on the top spot.
Man, that is awesome, and it gives you some good momentum heading into that third and final moto. Take us through this one. How did you put it all together?
It basically started. We didn't prep the gate at all. We just left it the same. There was water in it, but we hooked up really good, and I was able to get to the front by the third turn and just led the whole race and rode my own race.
Congratulations to you, man.
Thank you. I'd like to thank my mom and dad, Brop Supply, SM11 Suspension, One Stop Motorsports, Gateway Cycles, Russ, my friend Bryce, and my brother JoJo, my girlfriend Caitlin, Fly Racing, 100%, FMF, Moto Seat, Bell, Split Designs, and I think that's it.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Samuel Redmond, he is your second moto winner and his first time moto win here at Loretta Lynn's. Here, as he is now tied for the national championship in this college 16 to 24-year-old class, as we move down to our second place position, and this will be our silver medal award winner. We're talking about Richard Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Richard, congratulations to you, man, as we say, come on out here so the folks can see you at home on RacerTV.com. But great ride, man. Here you are, third moto coming at you here in a day or so, and you are in a deadlock heated tie for the national title in this class. Congratulations, man. Talk about this moto, man.
Well, I got off to a pretty good start. I think I was about third, and track was pretty treacherous. I got into second, and I was behind the leader, but, man, he was moving, and I didn't want to push it too much. I don't think I had nothing for him for that time, but we'll come back for the third moto swinging, and hopefully we can take that championship.
Well, good job to you, man. We'll see how that all works out.
Awesome. I want to thank my mom, my dad, Rodney Talbot, Roostamex, Elusive, Faction, the Lord Jesus Christ for keeping me safe, AXO, man, Rhino Power, 100%. There's so many people. I just can't think right now.
All righty, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Richard Taylor, Jackson, he is your second place winner here in the second moto of the college 16 to 24-year-old class. Moving over here next to our bronze medal winner and also tied for the national championship here in this college 16 to 24-year-old class is going to be that of the 51 of Ryan Surratt. And I don't know. Hey, Ryan, somebody let them know that Ryan needs to be over here. He's talking to the team over there, the mechanics, Dad, and everybody talking about this moto. And I'll tell you, how about it? Put your hands together. He rode a heck of a great moto, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan Surratt. Good job, man. I know it's bronze. It's not what you're looking for, but after what I saw out there, that was a pretty phenomenal finish for you, brother.
Yeah, you know, the tractor ended up pushing all the mud right into my gate, and I came into the corner like second, and I hit the mud. And I did everything but go over the bars, and then 7 people ran right into the back of me, and so I didn't get the best start, and then tried to pass on the track, which the lappers were going from side to side, and it was hard.
It was hard, but you did a great job, and you proved that you want this championship. You got yourself in position for that. A 3-way tie, as we said, going into it, but you're right where you want to be heading into that third moto.
Yeah, you know, the third moto should be fun. Hopefully we get a dry track this time.
Who do you want to say thanks to?
Honda Power Sports, Fly Racing, Garnet Boots, X-Brand Goggles, No Toil, Spectro, Enzo Suspension, Works Connection, Imperial Motion, RKXL, and anyone else I forgot. Thank you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Moto Bronze here, third place for Moto 2 of the College 16 to 24, Ryan Surratt. And one more order of business. We got the 41 of Renton Menudo, who took the Bell Helmets Hole Shot Awards. Come on up here. Make sure I'm getting that correct there. Renton Menudo, right? All right, Renton, congratulations. Welcome to the Nationals, man. And good to see you up here on the podium today with this Bell Helmets Hole Shot Award. Step on up here. How'd you make that happen in these conditions, man?
I don't know. I guess I just wanted it.
Obviously you did. You put the power to the ground. Who do you want to say thanks to?
Everybody. My mom, my dad, Alpine Stars, NOS Suspension, John Burr, Little Nick Racing, the Shedden family for bringing me here. I wouldn't be here without them. Anybody else I forgot, thank you so much.
Congratulations to you. Again, Renton Menudo taking the Bell Helmets Hole Shot Award here in Moto 2 of the College 16 to 24.
All right, thank you so much, Rodney. Incredible moto right there in our college 16 to 24 class. So bringing that one to a close out on the track right now. Moto number 2 of our Junior Plus 25. Those guys taking that parade lap right now, getting ready to get locked and loaded in the gate back there. Looks like the last few riders will be working their way around. So the junior